Hi, friends, and welcome back to the Nourish with Regina podcast, where we're transforming your plate and transforming your life. If you're new here, welcome. And I'm Regina. I'm a certified nutrition coach, wife, mom of 4 adult children, and someone who absolutely loves this time of year. Summer is really my favorite season. Every Saturday morning, while I'm waiting for my own garden to fully come in, you can usually find me at the farmer's market, walking through rows of fresh berries, tomatoes, herbs, peaches, cucumbers, watermelon. And honestly, it just feels really good. The colors, the flavors, the smells, the freshness, the simplicity of it. And what I love about summer food is that it reminds us of something really important. Healthy food does not have to feel miserable. It can feel vibrant, refreshing, flavorful, nourishing, and really enjoyable. And I think after years of diet culture, a lot of people need to hear that. Because this time of year can also come with pressure. The summer body messaging, vacation dieting, trying to shrink yourself before events or trips, feeling anxious about cookouts or being in a swimsuit or even shorts. And honestly, that kind of stress often disconnects people from the joy of food entirely. So today's episode is a little bit of a different conversation. We're talking about why summer seasonal foods support your body so beautifully. Hydration, digestion, energy, inflammation, simple summer meals, cookouts and vacations, and how to let healthy living lighter and more joyful again. Because health is not supposed to feel like punishment, and summer is actually one of the easiest seasons to nourish your body well. So let's start with the idea of seasonal eating itself, because this is something humans naturally did for most of history. And I know in the fall I did a seasonal eating episode 2 that was really well received. So those same concepts are going to carry over into here. Before modern food systems, before imported strawberries in December, before hyper-processed food, convenience foods, people largely ate what was available in the season they were in the area they lived in. And interestingly, those seasonal foods often align beautifully with what the body needs at those times of year. So summer foods tend to be lighter, more water-rich, more refreshing, more hydrating, fiber-packed, and full of nutrients and antioxidants. Think about foods like watermelon or cucumber, berries, tomatoes, citrus fruits, fresh herbs, peaches. Peaches are my absolute favorite fruit. I love peaches in the summer. But many of these foods help naturally support hydration and recovery in these hotter months. And beyond just nutrients, seasonal foods often taste better too. Produce picked closer to peak ripeness often has better flavor, more nutrient quality than produce harvest early and then transported long distances. That's part of why summer tomatoes from a farmer's market or your own garden are going to taste exponentially better than anything you buy at the grocery store. Body often responds positively to freshness in our food. So next, I kind of want to touch on hydration. And hydration is more than drinking water. Because most people think hydration just means drink more water. Get, your 60 or 80 ounces in a day, whatever your goal is there. And yes, water matters tremendously. But hydration is actually a much bigger physiological process than just drinking water. So your body actually relies on fluids and electrolytes to regulate your body temperature, your circulation, your digestion, your energy production, muscle function, brain function. Even mild dehydration can affect your mood, focus, energy. It can give you headaches. It can cause problems with your digestion and your physical performance. And during summer, between heat and sweating and outdoor activities and travel and busy schedules, many people become dehydrated, and they don't even realize it. So here's something important. Hydration is not just about fluids. It's also about minerals and water-rich foods. So foods like watermelon, it's like right there in the name, but also cucumbers and strawberries and citrus and tomatoes and peaches contain significant water content, while also providing nutrients and antioxidants for our bodies too. So watermelon, for example, is over 90% water. Cucumber is incredibly hydrating and refreshing. Tomatoes provide potassium and vitamin C. Berries are super rich in polyphenols and antioxidants that help support inflammation, balance, and cellular health as well. So summer produce supports hydration naturally. And honestly, that's one reason lighter, fresher foods often feel so good this time of year. Your body may genuinely be asking for them. So let's briefly talk about electrolytes because this matters too. Electrolytes are minerals like sodium, potassium, and magnesium that help regulate fluid balance, nerve signaling, and muscle function in your body. When we sweat more in the summer, we lose both fluids and electrolytes. So they're not the same thing. Which means you could feel fatigued or dizzy or sluggish, that headache again, or really low energy, even if you're drinking water, because you're missing electrolytes. So this is why adding mineral-rich foods, balanced meals, lots of fruits and vegetables, and proper hydration can make such a noticeable difference in how we feel during the summertime. Sometimes people may think they need more caffeine when really they just need hydration and nourishment. So have you ever noticed that heavy foods often feel less appealing in extreme heat? Like, I love summer because it lends itself well to those light and refreshing, nutrient-dense salads. Like, I love a big, good, delicious salad in the summertime. That's not random that our body craves those things. Our body is constantly trying to maintain balance. And in warmer temperatures, many people naturally gravitate towards lighter meals, fresh produce, hydrating foods, and cooling foods. Now, this doesn't mean you need to eat tiny salads all summer. Not at all. Protein still matters. Balanced meals still matter. Blood sugar still matters. But many summer foods naturally pair beautifully with supportive digestion. So fresh herbs like mint and basil, parsley, cilantro can add flavor while also making your meals feel a little brighter and fresher. Fiber-rich produce supports gut health and regular digestion. Water-rich foods can feel less heavy while still being nourishing. And honestly, sometimes digestion improves when stress around food decreases too. So when you stop obsessing, stop restricting, stop fearing every bite, and simply build balanced, nourishing meals, your body will often respond positively to that. So I want to pause here for just a minute and speak to something important. Excuse me, because summer can bring up a lot emotionally for people. Okay. The emotional parts of summer, like swimsuits and shorts and vacation and pool parties and weddings and pictures and social media. And many people immediately go into restriction, panic dieting, over exercising, and this like shrinking mode, as if the goal of summer is to become smaller before you're allowed to enjoy it. And that's kind of just silly to me. And honestly, I think many people are just exhausted from trying to hate themselves into health. And that mindset disconnects people from what health is actually supposed to look like. Health should support your life, not consume it. Summer should include laughter and cookouts and ice cream with your kids, fresh fruit and vacations and dinner outside on the patio, celebrations and joy and time by the water. And 1 week of enjoying your life, like on vacation, is not going to ruin your health. Your body is so much more resilient than that. So this is where consistency matters more than perfection. And I know I say that a lot, and that's because I absolutely 100% believe it. What you repeatedly do matters far more than a vacation meal or one cookout. And honestly, stress and guilt around food often do more harm than the occasional dessert ever will. I think we underestimate how much joy matters in our health. Not fake positivity, fake it till you make it kind of thing, but real enjoyment, connection, peace, presence in the moments we're in. When meals are constantly associated with guilt and fear and anxiety and control and punishment, the nervous system often stays stressed around food itself. We've trained our bodies to do this. And your stress is also going to affect your digestion. So you're kind of working against yourself. Your body digests differently in chronically stressed state, in blood flow shifts, in your digestive signaling changes. And the body prioritizes survival over optimal digestion. So, which is why slowing down is helpful. Sit down at a table with family and friends to enjoy your meal. Enjoy your meal. Eat things that you enjoy eating that you know are nourishing your body. Share meals socially. Go out with friends. Have a cookout. Have fun. And eat in a calmer state. I know a lot of us are super busy and feel like we are just, grabbing something and running out the door all the time, eating in our cars or, just grabbing whatever's easiest and throwing it in our mouth. And that really can change if you become intentional about how you're feeding your body. So summer naturally invites some of this. Meals outside, farmers markets, fresh foods, longer evenings, cookouts with people we love. And honestly, I think that's really, really beautiful. Food was never meant to become only numbers and punishment. It is meant to nourish. It's not just our bodies, but food can nourish connections. It can nourish our culture, joy, gratitude, and community. And those things are all so important and they matter so much. So far we've talked about why seasonal eating matters, hydration, electrolytes, digestion, summer body pressure, nervous system support, and letting health feel enjoyable again. In part 2, we're going to head to my kitchen, one of my favorite places, and we're going to make a summer hydration mocktail that'll be great to have when you're enjoying the outdoors with friends and family. A cucumber herb salad that's going to be super nourishing and hydrating that you can take with you to barbecues or just eat at home. It's delicious, I promise. And then we're going to put together a protein picnic board because I love picnicking in the summer and I love charcuterie boards. So it's going to be one that's full of protein. So while we're also talking about blood sugar balance, protein in summer meals, cookouts and vacations, practical seasonal eating, and how to build meals that truly help you feel good. We're going to do all that in the kitchen because healthy summer eating should not feel restrictive. It should feel fresh and flavorful and sustainable. So in the next part, we'll be heading to the kitchen because I want to make this really practical for you. One thing I think social media has done to healthy eating is make it seem overly complicated. You know, you always see expensive powders or perfect meal prep containers, extremely restrictive plans, complicated recipes with 27 ingredients. I mean, who has time for that, right? Honestly, summer is a wonderful reminder that healthy food can actually be very simple. Fresh ingredients, simple combinations, flavorful meals, balanced plates. That's it. And one of my favorite things about summer cooking is that the ingredients do so much of the work for you. Fresh berries already taste incredible. Tomatoes are naturally sweet and flavorful. Fresh herbs brighten everything. I grow a lot of my own herbs, and like right now I'm drying some oregano, and I just love the way it makes the whole house smell too. And oregano is going to be used in many of my dishes over the summer. It's a great herb. Cucumbers are crisp and refreshing, and watermelon literally tastes like summer. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. So instead of trying to force yourself into another summer diet so you can be swimsuit ready, what if you simply focused on nourishing your body with beautiful, flavorful foods that help you feel good? That is a much more sustainable relationship with health. So I will see you in my kitchen in just a minute. All right. Well, welcome to my kitchen, and thanks for sticking with me. I'm so excited about this. I love bringing you into my kitchen and doing some things. I think I can't, like I said, I have trouble getting a good angle with this kind of stuff. So it keeps like wanting to auto zoom in, and I don't know how to. If we do this, well, it won't zoom out. Anyways, I'll do my best. So we're going to start with making a super simple summer mocktail because I love this because it doesn't have the inflammatory effects of alcohol, but you still get the same great flavor, refreshing beverage you can have all summer long. And I love it because so many people walk around in the summer mildly dehydrated. They complain of being tired and foggy and snacky and low energy and maybe getting an afternoon headache. And they think they need food or sugar or caffeine to combat that. But in actuality, they just need some water and some minerals. So this is going to give you all of that you need. Let's go over what our ingredients are going to be. Sparkling water. I'm using a flavored, no sugar sparkling water. So there's no sweetness to it. It's just carbonated water and flavoring. You can use plain sparkling water if you want. We have our organic coconut water. Limes for fresh lime juice. I'll just show you the whole plate here. We have cucumber, strawberries, and I just went and picked some mint from my garden. So ice and mineral salt. So let's get started by talking about why this combination works. So coconut water is naturally high in potassium, which helps support hydration and your fluid balance in your body. It kind of regulates all that. So coconut water is great. I'm not a huge fan of coconut water. It's overly sweet to me. So we're just going to use a splash of this in with our sparkling water today. If you love coconut water, feel free to add a little bit more if you like. This is all about your taste and your likes. So it might take a couple times making these and some adjustments to get what, like the flavor balance that you like best. But all these things are so good for you. The cucumber and strawberry on our little ingredient tray here. One, they're high water content fruit and vegetable, but they also are high in vitamin C and antioxidants. The sea salt is going to give you that electrolyte punch you need, especially if you're sweating. You sweat a lot of that, salt out. We got to kind of replenish that at sometimes. And the mint will give it like this cooling, refreshing flavor. So I think
being and getting hydrated, especially if you're not a huge water drinker. Like, I make myself drink plain water, but it's not my number one go-to. I'm not a huge fan of it. So making it kind of fun and flavorful in ways like this can really be helpful in the summer. So I think what's really interesting is a lot of people notice stronger cravings in the summertime, especially for cold food, sugar, frozen drinks. Just kind of cool that. Quick snacks. You don't have a heavy appetite. You don't want to be eating heavy foods in the summertime. It's hot. Part of that might be environmental. Part of it might be blood sugar stability. Um, and part of it can be dehydration, can kind of mimic hunger cues at times. So sometimes our body's signals can overlap. So before assuming I really just need a snack, I want your first thought to be like, have I had enough water and minerals today? And so maybe drink a glass of water or make this fun little cocktail. We don't want to ignore hunger if it's needed, but we also don't want to be consuming more calories than we need to either, if that's not the case, because we're not answering our body's request in that way. So you're gonna take your little cocktail glass, and I'm just gonna throw, it's probably like 1.5 strawberries in there and a couple of the mint leaves. And we're just gonna muddle those in the bottom of our glass. What this is gonna do is it's gonna release the oils, the fragrances from the mint, oh, I can smell it already. Really get that aromatics going, kind of loosen them up so it really gets into the water. All right, so we got that. We are going to fill our cup with ice. So just pour a few, whoop, that was a little much. Pour some of our ice cubes in. Looks like that. We're gonna do a splash of our coconut water. Remember, that's high in potassium. We're gonna get that in there. And then we're gonna fill it the rest of the way with the sparkling water. We're gonna squeeze about a half a lime of lime juice in there. And then we're gonna give that a good mix. Like that. You guys, I wish you could smell this through the camera because it smells delicious. Then we're just gonna put a cucumber slice in there, garnish with a slice of lime. Now, isn't that a gorgeous summer mocktail? Let's give it a try. Oh my goodness. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Oh, we forgot the most important part. Our little pinch of salt. Just sprinkle some of that on. We're going to give it another little stir. I get so excited in the kitchen, guys. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. So, oh yeah, that hits the spot. That hits the spot. Like if you're out working in the garden or having friends over on the patio, I mean, this is delish for real. All right. So now we're going to move on to the next thing, which is going to be a cucumber herb salad. So let's just move all that kind of stuff out of the way here for now. I have already sliced up. So I'm making small portions today because it's just my husband and I here at home, and I don't want it to go bad. I hate wasting food. So I sliced up one cucumber and about a handful of cherry tomatoes. I just have the cherry tomatoes. You can see them in there. And then give that a little good mix here. And this is going to be a super simple, refreshing, wonderful summer salad that you can eat like daily, or if you have like a potluck or something to go to, you can take it for that too. So I love cucumber salad. It's one of my favorite things in the summer. But what I love about this recipe is it tastes fresh and refreshing, really light, and it still is going to support your digestion, hydration, and overall nourishment for your body. So let's get into it. You are going to need, like I said, cucumber, cherry tomatoes. I use 1 cucumber, about a handful of cherry tomatoes. You can put red onion in this. I don't cook with onion usually because my husband is allergic. So, but onion would be a great addition to this. Put a little bit of red onion in there. Fresh dill. I'm using dried dill today. It's from my garden from last year. The squirrels have waged war on me and they dug up all my fresh dill. We're going to do some fresh parsley, feta cheese, lemon juice, and salt and pepper. So once you slice up your cucumbers, I wish you guys could see me do this, your cucumbers, then we're going to add the, we're going to chop the parsley and add the dill. So this is one of those recipes that has really simple ingredients in the summer. And actually, if you do have a summer garden, you can make most of this out of stuff out of your summer garden. Each ingredient in this recipe is contributing something supportive nutritionally, which is also fantastic, knowing that what you're eating really is supporting you. So cucumbers in and of themselves are incredibly hydrating. They are, they have a high water content. So we're just going to sprinkle the parsley in, a couple tablespoons of fresh parsley. So, and fresh herbs and dried herbs too, but not as potent. And I love dill, so we're just gonna about a tablespoon of the dried dill. If you're doing fresh dill, I do a couple tablespoons of it. But they contain phytonutrients and anti-inflammatory compounds. So if you're doing a lot of yard work and stuff, that's going to be great to help with inflammation from being on your feet all day or anything. All right, and then olive oil. We're just going to do a nice drizzle of that in the bowl. Olive oil provides healthy fats, it supports nutrient absorption, and that little bit of fat in there is going to make you feel fuller longer. So it's a great addition for that. Then feta, again, another fat, and I love feta cheese. You could also use goat cheese in this. If I can get it open. Feta cheese has a little bit of protein in it too. I don't think it's not super high concentration of protein, but every little bit helps. So we're gonna put a little generous amount of that feta in there. Awesome. And just that fat and little protein is going to make it more satisfying when you eat it. And the tomatoes have lycopene, they have potassium and antioxidants. So tomatoes, love summer tomatoes, love garden tomatoes, and they pack a little powerhouse punch too. We're gonna give this a little stir. All right. So it's coming together. It's looking really good. All right. So I want to pause here a minute and I want to say something very important. Light meals should still be nourishing. They still can contain protein. They can still pack a punch and deliver all those vitamins and minerals and micronutrients and macronutrients that your body needs to be fully nourished all summer long. I think many people hear summer eating and they immediately think like tiny salads or deprivation or constantly hungry or like, you just don't feel like eating a big heavy meal. Everybody, we talked earlier about being worried about wearing the shorts and fitting in the bathing suit, but you can eat, you can feel full all summer long, you can feel nourished, and it's not going to mess with your waistline. It's not going to mess with, your activity, your summer activities. So nourishment matters, protein matters, fiber matters. You're still want to focus on keeping that blood sugar stable too. So a meal that looks healthy but leaves you starving an hour later, you're probably missing something from that. So summer produce naturally tends to be higher in fiber and higher in water content. So those are things in the summer that our body needs. That's why I love eating seasonally. So fiber is so important because if you remember from our gut health episode, you need it for gut health. You need it to feel full. It helps your cholesterol. it gives you cholesterol support. It's going to help those cholesterol numbers. It's going to help regulate your blood sugar. And it feeds that beneficial gut bacteria that you have. So fiber is a super important part of our summer meals, just like hydration is. So most adults significantly are under eating fiber. Many people are only getting around 10 to 15 grams per day. And I think the recommendation, let me look back at my notes. Yeah. So it's recommended that people get 25 to 35 grams of fiber per day. So you can see those numbers are very far apart. So interestingly enough, summer foods make getting your fiber intake feel easier, which is great. And it's through things like berries and vegetables and greens and beans and fresh fruit, herbs, seeds, nuts, all the things. Fiber does not have to come from bland bran cereal. There is a whole colorful, amazing way to get your fiber in. So just kind of keep that in mind. Few finishing touches on our cucumber salad. We're going to put some lemon juice in there. I have a fresh lemon here. I'm just going to squeeze that over the top. Might need to add a little bit more olive oil. And then we're going to salt and pepper this. So, all right. Do a little bit, another drizzle of olive oil. Give it a good stir. All right, guys. And tell me this doesn't look super summery and nourishing. Look at that. So good. So good. All right. So the next thing we're going to move on to is something I think a lot of people struggle with in the summer. And that is, let me move some of this stuff out of the way here. Make some room. And that is protein. And getting enough protein. We've talked in previous episodes about how a lot of people have struggled with getting enough protein anyways. And then when you add in all the travel and vacationing and all that kind of stuff in the summer, it can become even harder. So we are going to make a protein picnic board. And I love the idea of this because especially on busy summer days or dinners and it's really hot summer weather and you don't want to cook, right? We don't want to cook. We can put together a fun summer protein board. So I've started it a little bit here, but we've got our little charcuterie board here and we are going to load this up. I'm going to be back in a flash. I made these a little bit ago. They are grilled chicken breast skewers. So we're just going to put those on there. Great protein, grilled chicken breast. These ones are wrapped in bacon. So you get that fat content, a little more protein there. You can put turkey roll-ups, hard-boiled eggs, hummus, which I just bought classic hummus. Put that on there. Cheese. I love a good smoked Gouda and cheddar, white cheddar. Cheese, also another source of protein. You can use Greek yogurt dip or beef sticks. I got these little meat sticks. You can cut them. You could even cut those little into smaller bites. Pardon me. Other great things to put on there. Berries. Quick tip. Put your berries in glass jars in your fridge. They're going to last so much longer. Cucumbers. We got some snap peas on there. I love these, especially dipped in the hummus. Those are fantastic. Cherry tomatoes, peaches. We're getting into watermelon season. I got this little guy today. Let's cut him open and see how he looks inside. It's my first watermelon of the summer. I didn't grow it, but we got it at the store. So let's see what he looks like inside. Maybe, right? Don't be nervous. I'm a professional. Ooh, that's a nice color though. Look how red, and it smells good too. So, then make sure you add your healthy fats and things like olive, avocado dip, nuts, seeds, seeded crackers, or roasted chickpeas. Also, another great source of protein. Fruit. You can do apples or bananas, pears, whatever. I mean, really, you can be as creative with this as you want, and you're hitting all those major food items like your proteins and your fiber and your antioxidant, your antioxidants. So suddenly we have protein and fiber, hydration, healthy fats, micronutrients, blood sugar support, and it's something you can just grab and go or eat when it's super hot or you're busy, because it doesn't take a lot of preparation, and you can actually make this ahead of time, wrap it in plastic wrap, keep it in the fridge, and just pull it out when it's dinner time. And it feels abundant. I love a great charcuterie board because it just feels like you feel a little fancy maybe sometimes, It doesn't feel restrictive because you have a lot of variety on things that you can eat. So I want to thank you for joining me in my kitchen. I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys want to get in your kitchen and try a few of these things. But we're going to head back up to the studio now and finish our podcast episode. So I will see you there in a minute.
All right. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen. We're back in the studio now. And I just want to talk a little bit about why protein still matters in summer. We built that beautiful protein picnic board. But I think when in summer is when people unintentionally undereat their protein. Smoothie bowls and fruit and cocktail snacks and salads without enough substance, or skipping meals because it's hot and you just really don't feel like eating. And then the nighttime cravings increase dramatically because the body still needs amino acids and blood sugar stability and muscle support. It wants to feel full and nourished. And so protein is important. This connects directly back to our protein episode. When meals are low in protein, many people feel less satisfied and more snacky later. So even in summer, especially in summer, balanced meals matter. So let's talk about vacations and cookouts because this is important. I think a lot of people live in this cycle of being good, then falling off, then they feel guilty, and then they're like, I'll just restart Monday. And honestly, that cycle is absolutely exhausting. Summer should include joy. It includes celebrations and ice cream and cookouts and vacation dinners and time in magical places, wine on the patio, fresh baked pie at a family gathering. And remember, one meal, one weekend, one vacation does not ruin your health. The body is far more resilient than diet culture has taught us. So what matters most is your overall pattern, your overall rhythm and lifestyle. So people often do far better long-term when they stop viewing very enjoyable experiences as failure or a test. So I want to give you a personal example. I just got back from Napa about a week ago, and yes, there was absolutely incredible wine involved, incredible food, beautiful meals, amazing restaurants, fresh local ingredients. long conversations, lots of laughter, and experiences I will remember forever. And honestly, I enjoyed every single second of it. The wine, the food, the beauty of the area, the craftsmanship that goes into the winemaking and the food there. The experience of just slowing down and truly being present in every moment. Years ago, I probably would have approached a trip like this very differently. I may have stressed out about every meal. I've even, prior to vacations, looked up and picked places we would eat so I could choose what I was going to eat before we even got there. I would have been worried about calories or, tried to make up for it when I got back, or felt guilty while I was eating, or convinced myself that I had completely ruined, all of my progress. But this trip felt really different. I nourished my body while I was there. I stayed mindful. So I still made good choices in what I was eating, but I didn't feel bad about it, or I didn't feel like I was not allowing myself to enjoy things that I wanted to experience. I included protein in balanced meals. I hydrated. I walked constantly. I listened to my body, but I also fully allowed myself to enjoy the experience. And I think that really matters because health should support your life, not keep you from fully living it. One beautiful week of enjoyable, incredible food and wine did not ruin my health. In fact, I came home feeling refreshed, inspired, connected, and abundantly grateful. And honestly, I think that's a much healthier relationship with food than constantly living in fear of it. And it has taken me a while to get to this space in my relationship with food and my health, but it's actually very freeing. That is balance, not perfection, wisdom, and sustainability. I think one of the most beautiful things about summer food is how naturally it invites gratitude. Fresh produce, gardens, farmers markets, shared meals outdoors with people we love and care about, the abundance of just color and flavor that we get with our summer foods. There's something really grounding about it. And from a faith perspective, I think food was always meant to be more than numbers and macros and guilt and control. Food can reflect care and hospitality, joy, nourishment, connection, celebration. That doesn't mean food becomes the center of everything, but it does mean we are allowed to enjoy it. Sometimes the healthiest thing we can do is stop fighting our body long enough to actually care for it well. So as summer begins, I want you guys to remember this. You do not need to punish yourself into health. You do not need to spend the entire summer trying to become smaller before you are allowed to enjoy your life. Health can feel vibrant, flavorful, balanced, nourishing, and so joyful. And honestly, summer may be one of the easiest times of year to start reconnecting with that. Fresh foods, simple meals, more sunlight, more movement, more time outside, more color, more life, more connection. And I want you to really think about leaning into that. You won't regret it, I promise. So if this episode encouraged you, inspired you, or helped healthy living feel a little lighter and more enjoyable again, please share it with someone who could use that too. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. New episodes drop every Tuesday at 11 a.m. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram under Nourish with Regina, where I share practical nutrition tips, recipes, encouragement, and realistic ways to support your health in everyday life. If you're ready to take the next step and what you're learning here and apply it with personalized support, you can learn all about my coaching options on my website at www.nourishwithregina.com. And next week's episode is one I think so many people need to hear. Stress is making you hold on to weight. We kind of touched about it here, but we're going to talk about why that is and what we can do about it. We're going to talk about what cortisol actually is, how chronic stress impacts your body, why stress eating happens, how stress affects sleep and cravings, hormones, and fat storage, and simple daily nervous system resets that can genuinely help your body feel safer, calmer, and more supportive. Because sometimes the issue is not that your body is fighting against you. It may be that your body has been stuck in survival mode for far too long. So thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you. And until next time, keep nourishing your body one simple choice at a time.